the Mercedes-Benz post-game show. Andre Vasilevsky and the Tampa Bay Lightning pick up a win at the Coliseum tonight and take a 2-1 series lead over the Islanders. 2-1 the final score in Game 3. Hello, everyone. Welcome inside our MSG Network studios. I'm Shannon Hogan alongside Butch Goring. And Butch, not exactly the outcome of Game 1 at the Coliseum for this third round that the Islanders were looking for. What did you take away overall from Game 3?
Well, a terrific hockey game. I mean, you've got two teams. They're in the semifinals, so they're not slouches. And if you think there was going to be a 5-0 game for somebody, you're in the wrong business, because these are two teams that play it hard, and it's going to be a game of breaks. It's going to be about hard work, will, and it's just going to be a tough game to win no matter what side of the ledger you're on. But I mean, the only thing that bothered me, Shannon, is really the call on Pelech. I mean, the amount of interference that goes on in this game. I mean, you could watch 60 minutes. You could call 60 penalties if you wanted to call interference. And yeah, sure, he interfered with him. He came in over and he gave him a bump. If you've seen Kucherov when he handles a puck, you couldn't knock him off with a train. You couldn't knock him down. But yet Pelech's able to knock him down with a little push. Come on, please, give me a break. I don't think those type of calls belong in the game. If you're going to call interference, then call interference. But to me, that was weak, and given the game that it was, look at this guy. This guy's about 220 pounds, and he acts like he just got ran over by a train. So that's a weak call in my opinion. Yeah, everybody's going to say, "Oh, Butch, you're whining." Yeah, well, maybe I'm whining, but what I do like is consistency. And if you're going to call interference, then call it the entire 60 minutes, not when you think it's appropriate.
Yeah, especially at a timely point there, because we're going to look at this again, and really this was part of the turning point for this game, Butchie, because this then eventually led to the Braden Point goal, with the Islanders having a big kill there and all the momentum going Tampa's way.
Yeah, and okay, hey, listen, I can buy into it as far as you look at that call, and people are going to say it was interference, Butch. And yeah, okay, it was. He interfered with him. But which time do you call it? I mean, okay, you call it once there. As I said, you could call it 60 times during a hockey game, whether it's on faceoffs, whether it's in front of the net, whether it's in between the blue lines. You can find it. It's like football. You want to call holding at the line, you can call it all day and all night. So Kucherov was never going to get to the puck. He wasn't close to the play, so it was no big deal. It was no harm, no foul, and you don't have to make that call.
Well, I think it's also frustrating because Cal Clutterbuck had scored. Islanders had tied the game. They had some momentum going their way. And the last thing you want to do when you're an Islanders team and you have the momentum is take a penalty, because this team is so dangerous with the power play. And even though the Braden Point goal wasn't a power play goal, they had that momentum from the man advantage heading into the end of that second period.
Yeah, they really did. And the thing about the power play goal here is that they had killed off the penalty. They've done a marvelous job. So just think about how much momentum they would have had they've been able to keep the puck out of their net. But you know what? They got a couple lucky. This is really close to interference too. I'm a little bit surprised that Barry Trotz didn't, challenge this one a little bit. Yes, Green kind of pushed him in a little bit, but certainly Cirelli was deep into that crease. But that's a marvelous goal by Braden Point, who just stays right with it, and he's got a real knack for scoring goals in the playoffs, no doubt about it. So full marks for him for doing what he needed to do. But several things happened on that play, and one of them could have been goaltender interference. And obviously Barry Trotz and his crew didn't think it was enough, or was going to be too close a call, and didn't want to give them another power play opportunity. But again, a little bit of a lucky goal. The first goal is a little bit of a lucky goal, so the Islanders aren't catching a lot of breaks out there. But two teams who played really hard. Islanders pushed hard, couldn't get one past Vasilevsky. Good game. I mean, that's just the way it's going to be. Now the Islanders have dug themselves a little bit of a hole. They're going to have to rally, find a way to win Game 4.
Yeah, well, they're familiar with this position. They've come back from 2-1 a couple times. They know how to do it. And, of course, Game 4 is going to be at the Coliseum as well. Scoring the first goal in a game, Butchie, can be very beneficial for whether you're the home team or the away team. You really kind of establish that momentum. And while the Islanders did have a good first period, it was Yanni Gourde who got on the score sheet first, and it was a Tampa Bay goal.
Yes, and Yanni Gourde played extremely well. He's one of these guys, third, fourth liners that knows how to play the game. They talked about Cizikas on USA Network today and how well that line played. Well, much the same thing with Gourde, the way he plays the game, and so when you work hard, good things happen. This is McDonough, good cross ice pass to his partner, and then that's Chernak. So then watch what happens is Gourde's going to go This is Coleman going down the wing. And here comes Dobson now. He's in the middle of the ice. So now he comes over. And here's the key issue right here. He should have taken him out right there, took him right to the boards, but he doesn't. And then Coleman eventually gets the puck back in the net. And then, of course, Yanni Gourde from a real tough angle gets a break. It's going to bounce off of the defenseman in front of the net, which is Leddy. And no chance for Varlamov. But so let me go back to the Dobson play. One of the guys I played with for a couple of years in LA was a guy named Harry Hull, who played for the Rangers, great player for the Rangers. Last person to win the Norris Trophy before Bobby Orr won it about 10 times in a row. So Harry was a great player. I used to come down on him on practice all the time, and it didn't matter what I did, whether I dumped it in or whether I shot it into the net. He would turn and he would take me out right to the boards every time. And I don't mean once in a while, I mean every time. And I said to him after a few days of this, I said, Harry, what do you do in this practice? He says, Butch, this is what you have to do in the game. This is what I'm going to do in practice. So my point being, if young Mr. Dobson takes his man right to the boards like he should have, that play doesn't happen. But, hey, listen, I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying those are little details in the game that you have to learn, and then you have to be diligent about doing them.
Yeah, and Noah Dobson still continuing to grow. Such a young player with a bright future with the New York Islanders, trying to learn from his defensive partner and, of course, the veteran D-core. We're taking a quick break here on the Mercedes-Benz post-game show. We wish we were talking about an Islanders win. It was still a tight game. 2-1 the final score, and Tampa now has a 2-1 series lead. We'll be right back.